Episode 7 of The Bear, we're seeing all the employees of the original Beef head into work. Buses, trains, walking. In between those cuts, we're getting to see kind of the turmoil that Chicago has been in, but also some positive things like protests, and then also gentrification, the change that Chicago is going through, like many big cities, highlighting what Richie's feeling with the change to the Beef that he doesn't like and the change of his life. And while every employee is heading into the Beef, Marcus is already there working on his perfect donut, really highlighting his obsessive compulsiveness to this donut. He wants, he doesn't want it, he needs it to be the best donut you've ever had in your life. Now we're getting ready for the day, just before service, and meow. Hi cat. Hi baby. Hi. Meow. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm in the middle of recording right now. You're really interrupting here. Anyway, let's try that again. Now we're in the kitchen and everything is getting started for the day. Abraham is reading off the review. Sydney unknowingly dropped off her short rib dish with risotto to a food critic. He was there checking them out because that's what food critics do every couple months, or maybe once a year. They'll go and check out an old place that they used to go to, give it a fresh review, see where it's at. And he starts talking about how incredible the dish was and highlighting how the beef has changed for the better. She's trying to keep this from Carmi as long as possible because she feels like he's going to be really upset. And there's a possibility for him to blow his lid because she went behind his back and gave a dish to a critic without it being perfect. Carmi rolls in and he is kind of hot-tempered. He's on edge because they're supposed to be rolling out the to-go program they open up in 20 minutes and to-go program rolls out in 20 minutes. And I've said this in past videos about the Bear. When you're going to do a to-go program, it's not as easy as just, okay, let's do to-go. You need to have to-go silverware, to-go napkins, to-go cups in different sizes, to-go cup lids in different sizes, to-go ramekins in different sizes, to-go ramekin lids in different sizes. Then you need to have the proper bags. There's another 50 things you need to have on hand. You're also going to need things that some people don't think about, like extra receipt paper, because you're going to be using extra receipts, stapling to bags for the customer. It's a whole new thing. It's almost as if you're opening up a second restaurant within your restaurant. Tina's running late. She pops in with her son, who's been suspended. This is actually pretty common. I've had this happen to me a few times in my career where someone shows up, they call ahead, I'm running late. Explain to you when I get there. They come in with their kid, who's usually 15, 16 years old. They're getting into trouble at school, and they think they should be in a kitchen, it can give you discipline, but also sticking a kid who's not doing well around a bunch of hoodlums might not be the greatest idea. She comes in, it's like you got to teach them how to work in the kitchen on the same day that we're running a brand new program of the to-go. So there's a lot of hecticness, and so Carmi passed it off to Sydney. She's asking for help because her kid is getting into trouble. He's getting suspended, he's not doing what he's supposed to, he's not studying. As reviews being read, they finally get Abraham to stop reading it and get to work, giving the original Beef 5 stars. Then in walks Richie, reading the review, calling the writer a hack, but then picks up on the fact that Sydney accidentally dropped off risotto to a food critic. He's insinuating that she did it on purpose, but then starts talking trash about the dish, what's the pickup time on risotto? How long does that take? Are we really going to do that? We can't be doing that shit, right? Right, cousin? And because Carmi's stuck, head down, just agreeing to get him to stop talking, goes, no, we're not going to be doing that. Definitely gives a little defeat to Sydney, and she puts her head down. After you've been talking about doing a dish or doing a sauce or something, them just being like, no, we're not going to do it. It feels like you failed. That's probably where she's at this moment. Richie's still giving Sydney shit about the accidental drop, but Carmen's like, cut that shit out. It's time to get started. And something you do in a place like this that has a small menu is you do pars every single morning. And when you're getting your stations ready, you call out each station Parmesan salad. A place like this, you're gonna have 2 to 3 sandwiches, maybe 4, 2 or 3 larger entree style dishes, and then maybe 1 or 2 types of salad. Then, a couple sides here and there. But it's a small condensed menu, so you need to know exactly how many you have of everything. And we get back over to Marcus and his obsessive compulsiveness about these donuts. While Carmen's asking, like, how many cakes you got all day. Still fucking with the donut. And he flat says, if you're still fucking with that donut, I'm going to fuck your day up. I'm going to fuck your whole day up. This is where it becomes a huge problem, is you're 10 minutes from opening, you don't have desserts ready, you don't have your station's not ready because you're messing with something you should not be messing with. And all hell breaks loose. When you have a ordering tab, you can have the pre-orders on or off, essentially allowing people to order before you're open. Sydney left them open. This goes with her overzealousness, her impatience, and overall greenness. She wasn't paying attention to every little detail. So she left the pre-order open, which is going to basically put them behind for the rest of the day and possibly into the next day. Carmi's calling out numbers, and they need 55 whole chickens, 60 plus slices of cake, all due up in 8 minutes. I've been in the situation where an owner did the same thing, did not turn off pre-order, and we showed up after our break for our dinner service during pandemic, and we had over 50 sandwiches we had to produce in the next 12 minutes. We got a lot of bad reviews that day. People were waiting over an hour to pick up their sandwich, all because someone left pre-orders open. Carmi, for the most part, up to this point in the series, has kept his anger in check, but it's quickly coming out in this scene. And Richie, being the asshole he is not helping the situation. It's all building, all the tension. You can feel the tension within this episode building. This is a super intense scene. Carmi is now losing it, and he's going into Michelin mode, where he's telling someone to step off, and which essentially he's kicking her off her station. Cakes are not cut because Marcus is still working on a jelly donut that does not need to be worked on when you have 75 slices of cake you need to put out right now, and they're not even cut yet. It's an intense moment, and you can feel... I've been in both these situations. I've been in the situation of Sydney being overzealous and pushing for something, and then we get there and we are not ready for it. And I've been in the situation of Carmi, where I've been pushed to do something, and then we get there and we're not prepared. So now I have to keep everything like in line, and it goes to complete shit. As the stress continues to build, now it's taken over Sydney, who was, for the most part, kind of happy-go-lucky throughout the season. Her and Tina finally became friends, and Tina really looked up to Sydney in her skill level. Almost every kitchen has one of them, the mother or the father figure, and they will take care of the kitchen. They will make sure everyone's fed, make sure everyone's drinking water, and if you're having a bad day, they'll ask you, how are you doing? Like, they check on you. Even though they're going to call you chef and you may be their boss, they're still going to be the one looking out for your best interest and how you're feeling for the day. Tina comes up to Sydney and really asks her, like, how are you doing? And this is where you can see the breakdown of everything. One simple thing, one small thing broke down the entire kitchen. And she blows Tina off and is like, just do your damn job, basically, don't worry about me. And Tina kind of is taken back, like, okay, yes, chef. And it's a sad moment because they were finally becoming one, and a mistake destroyed everything. There's almost a moment where Sydney's going to stab Richie because of how he's being, and she blows her lid and just calls him a loser and keeps. And this is what happens in kitchens like this, where there's pent-up animosity towards each other, and it will eventually blow. And it took being overwhelmed with to-go orders for this to happen, which is why you need proper planning in place for this kind of stuff. And then we have Marcus again with the donut. While Rome is falling, he's like, here's a donut, look what I made. And I want to say that this is exaggerated, but it's not. I've been in a situation where I've been handed something like, look what I just made this. Like, we have 150 on the books. The entire restaurant's filled, and we are behind on orders, and you're showing me a new fucking dish you want to try and run? Like, you're not even giving me the dishes we're running right now. Don't show me a new dish. And Carmi loses it, slaps out of his hand, which is not something he should have done. This is the final straw that breaks the horse's back when it comes to Carmi. Carmi completely loses it and flips out just like on everyone. All this internal anger that he's had for losing his brother, having to come back and take over the beef, the issues he's having with Sydney, the issues he's having with Richie, all these things are coming out all in this one moment about a donut. Tensions ran too high, and Sydney, she walks out, not defending how Carmi was acting in the moment. This situation is definitely on her. It is and it isn't. It's on her, but it's not. Carmi should have went through and double-checked her work. He knows she's green. He knows that she is overzealous, knows that she's impatient, and he still gave her this project. He should have double-checked her work. Her walking out the way she did and acting like she had no part in this is also something that shows inexperience and immaturity. Poor Marcus, who was so obsessed over his donut, he takes all the donuts he's working on, just throws them onto a table in the dining room, and he's giving up and walking out as well. In the last moment, Carmi reaches down and literally grabs a donut off the floor and eats it, and smiles and mouths fuck, because the donut was perfect. He perfected it. Not in the right moment, but still, he did exactly what he was trying to do. Then Carmi gets up and slaps a ticket machine, which every single cook has wanted to do in their life, is just destroy a ticket machine. That noise will haunt me for the rest of my life. I hear it in my dreams. If I'm at a restaurant out eating, I hear it. It's like, what do I do? What, cook? Okay. And after beating the hell out of the machine, he walks out and fade to black. So we don't really get to see what happens at the end of this service or how the service went. It was just like a complete nightmare at the beginning. Fade to black. The credits start rolling, and in the background they have music going, but you can continuously hear the ticket machine spitting out a new ticket. Oh, God, yeah, that's triggering.